Our next panelist is Russ Wharton, and Russ is the president at Cool Springs, and you all do pancakes. And I can say from Jackson, we raise about $23,000 a year in pancakes, so take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's just a club,
For the most part, I think Governor Dan gave me a chance to speak here today. When Mike mentioned 33 people in his club and they're raising as much money as they are, that's a fantastic statistic. And so I don't want to dampen that. Although, to kind of keep up with Mike's perspective, we are in the top 20 of upcoming pancakes as listed by Pancake.
Hey, I love pancakes. I got nothing against pancakes, okay? I just remember,
I'm just saying, so.
Sorry, I was a Kiwanian for you. In Clarksville, the Kiwanis big thing is Pancake Breakfast, so that was the kind of the thing.
Well, it's funny he says that because actually, in business I travel a lot, so I deal with a lot of folks across the country, and it's great to see these Rotary clubs and get different ideas. I had one guy say, "Oh, Rotary, don't you guys do that $2 spaghetti dinner?" And the first thing, wow, could we do that? Can we make some money doing that or what? For the most part, I think the important aspect that I'm here to talk to you today, pancakes aren't any great, fantastic, new development. It is essentially circumstances, more a small club kicking off and finding out what its identity is. Just a little history. The Cool Springs Club was founded in 1996, so we've not been around a terribly long time. But the club at one time got up to almost 45, 50 people. So I mean, we've grown with what we've done. We've had a great experience in Cool Springs. If anybody is from around this area, certainly, we're in a great location for businesses and prime pickings for people that could be Rotarians. The Cool Springs Club has gone through several different fundraising efforts. We had a kids fair for several years. We also did a 4K or 5K race, 5K race out of the Franklin area. So it's not so much pancake fundraising as it is trying to find the fundraiser that I think speaks to your club that everybody thinks that they can buy into. There may be smaller clubs, more active clubs that a race or a bicycle race might fit more along with. We had, when I joined the club, we were right in the middle of our 5K race. And it took every single person in the club to put on that race. So certainly I agree with what Mike was saying in that regard. It is a labor-intensive, tough process to go through, and you do need a lot of those outside vendors. We were coordinating with the school. We were also coordinating with police department with regard to road and traffic considerations. We also had food that we provided, and then we also had sort of a kids fair at the end of the race. The Pancake Breakfast kind of came along as an idea that one of our members came to us and said, look, we've got a friend of ours who's got this restaurant that used to be, I can't think of the name of them, what it used to be, but it was in the Cool Springs area. They had bought it out from a major retail chain, and they were converting it over, and they were trying to get more people, more traffic driven to their restaurant. And so they came up with the idea of why don't we do a pancake breakfast there and sort of get our name out in the community more than anything else, and then we'll raise a little bit of money doing it. And that very first year, we raised roughly around $1,800 to $2,200, depending on costs that we look at. I think the important part is that what we did in that process is we identified something that our club as a whole could manage, could handle, and then actually felt like we could enjoy. Because fundraising is a necessary, I don't want to say evil, but it's a necessary requirement in our Rotary clubs. We support several very wonderful charities and several causes that we need money to promote. So we took the idea with the first year, and we made our $2,000 roughly, and then we started expanding on it. one of the biggest decisions that we made, and one of the things that helped us the most, was we ended up tying into a known entity, which was Sportsman's Grill in Cool Springs. Sportsman's Lodge, Sportsman's Grill. It was a known entity. Everybody knew Sportsman's Lodge. They don't serve breakfast. We weren't impeding on anything that they were doing. Centrally located within the business district, and certainly gave us sort of this atmosphere that really enticed more people to come and join and be part of that entity. We as a club, our second year, ended up raising, roughly clearing about $4,400 out of that effort, plus another $2,500 for a local family that the Fitzgeralds through an Amish cedar chest that someone had donated, and we went through the process of having a silent auction for that. This most recent year, we also reiterated the same process. We went back to Sportsman's Lodge. We started to involve more people. And I'm not talking about, our club is in the process of signing up an interactive club at Centennial High School. We're really looking forward to what that energy will do for our fundraiser. But we also had a lot of youngsters help us out during the fundraising. I had a couple people through Big Brothers Big Sisters we knew, a couple of our members drug their kids along to help out. And frankly, that energy, those young kids, provided really kind of a real nice atmosphere of diversity within the club and energized us. And we ended up this year clearing about $12,000, $11,000 to $12,000. So I think the important thing to stress here, and again, I'm not here to talk magic. I'm here to talk to the clubs that maybe are sitting here, smaller clubs, saying, what do we do? We didn't do anything special. We didn't do anything extravagant. In fact, we have other clubs within our area, the Brentwood Noon Club, that has done Pancake Breakfast for years and years and years and tied it into a race. The Hendersonville Club, years and years and years, they're doing this Pancake Breakfast. I think the advantage that has come with that is that we also, in developing this fundraiser and moving it forward, tried to focus our time, number one, organizing. Second of all, continuous improvement. So we weren't afraid to go approach the Hendersonville Club. Kim provided us a lot of information, just said, wow, I really like the way you guys did this. Our club happens to do this and this and this as well. The main factors that really increased our revenues, especially this year, besides planning and scheduling and putting together a calendar, was corporate sponsorships. This year we really rolled out our corporate sponsorships. We had multi-level sponsorships. We had a platinum sponsorship for people that were willing, companies are willing to give $1,000. We had gold, silver, bronze, and then those sponsorships had varying levels of exposure in our advertising. So we really tried to push that, and as much as, in our case, probably about 40% of our total dollars came from sponsorships. The rest came primarily from our ticket sales, and we really had some people in the club. As you get into a fundraiser that sort of fits your club, you're going to find some people that really take on the challenge of saying, I want to be the one that sells the most tickets. I really want to be the person that really, gets some credit for this. And all it took was just a little healthy competition within the club and sort of enticing people. We're not necessarily holding out that Paul Harris medal or that we're going to raise somebody like Paul Harris for selling the most tickets, but having some enticements, having some competition within the club to really push that forward was very, very important. So in doing that now, we are now able to, our club was able to sponsor RILA for the first time this year. Our club now has the ability to put away some money into the foundation for club points in order that we can take some of our other members who are maybe younger members that are working toward that Paul Harris Fellow to really encourage them. So when I kind of stand here before you, I'm not an expert in any one particular area of fundraising. I will say that the important part of your fundraising is to make sure that the club as a whole really feels comfortable, really gets behind it, and really, you have to look at what your demographic is in your club. If you've got older members, or if you've got a club as a whole that really wants to have one big fundraiser, then that's the direction that you really need to go. If you have a club that really is focused on service, but they'd rather do smaller ones, and that helps for those smaller clubs and maybe some rural areas, having pancake breakfast or God forbid a spaghetti dinner is not going to hurt you towards getting your name out there and getting the identity of the club into your community. So I won't belabor this point much more, but I will offer the floor if anybody has any questions they want to ask about our process.
I'm from Humboldt.
Yes.
We have a pancake breakfast as well.
There we go.
Oh, and
Another pancake breakfast.
We did it originally to fund scholarships for local high school students, and it's grown beyond that. But one of the things that we do that raises a lot of money is we sell business card ads for placemats, and we when the printer runs those, he prints enough that we use those placemats all year at our weekly meetings, and I think we raised $5,000 or $6,000 just on those ads.
How much do you sell for?
$100
For 10
One
tickets.
per business card.
one per business card.
And that's also something
And then
that we
I
started
think
this year as well.
and if you buy an ad, your business buys an ad, we'll give you, so many tickets that you can give to your employees or customers or whatever.
We do that, and we raise over 20 grand.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal, it's really a very simple process.
It's easy. I mean, like the local hospital donates the pancake batter. I mean, our expenses are virtually nil.
Yep. Any other questions? Somebody else had another question? Yes, sir.
From your club, as far as the pancake breakfast, participation, 100% member participation, or have you got 8 that are doing all the work and the others are? Yeah.
No, sir. We, again, our club's at 20 members right now. And every one of our members, less, I think 2, I take this back, there was an elderly couple, a husband and wife that were out of town, and another individual who had a commitment business-wise. But other than that, we had every other member of our club participated, either helping getting plates out, serving drinks, taking tickets in the front, bussing tables, whatever the case may be. So we had pretty much 100% participation, plus we had the additional, I think it was 8 other helpers that came on as well.
Selling tickets, was it rough motivating your members to sell tickets?
Admittedly, I've been in another club, I've been a member of another club that did do pancake breakfast, and it was an assumption that when pancake day came around, or pancake whatever week, you were required to pay. You can either buy them now, or you can sell them, but here's how many bases you're going to sell, and it was an expectation. In our case, we really didn't discuss it, other than in the beginning of the process, we said that our goal was on average, for every member to sell 15 tickets and 2 of the business card advertisements for the placemat. We ended up with one guy that sold 300 tickets, and we had somebody else that ended up selling like 8 of the business card advertisements. So again, I'm by far, this is why you get the participation behind something that the club will support, is because the last thing that you want to have to do, frankly, is say it's a requirement. It's just not, it's not going to work.
All right, one more question.